In minutes, the Weather Channel vehicle is at the core of the circulation.
Hold on, brothers. Hold on. Everybody duck, go. Just keep going if you can. Keep going if you can. Everybody duck down. Everybody duck down.
Their car is rolled 100 yards into the adjacent field. Somehow, everyone survives. The tornado's impacting Richard. It reaches a peak width of 2.6 miles wide, making it the widest tornado in recorded history.
I'm sorry, what?
It takes cover. A mile to the east, Dan Robinson abandons his car on the side of the road and takes cover in a ditch. They decide to turn back south, away from the new circulation. The four tour vans awkwardly turn around in the parking lot, which burns a significant amount of time. Time that they did not have.
Vans.
Quincy captures Silver Lining Tours as they head back south. This is the last time they are seen.
I'm sorry, what?
And then suddenly, Roger sees something out his window.
Oh no.
Debris falling from the sky. Debris falling here. Tornado right here. Give me the tornado. Stop. Stop.
One van is rolled, while another van is lifted into the air, tumbling multiple times across the road into a field. Despite the horrific damage to the vans and large number of chasers impacted, nobody dies. However, one tour guest suffers major injuries. Their tornado would impact multiple chasers.
Holy shit!
And I was one of them.
Chris, what in the hell?
The story?
Chris! You be out there in the field? Yo! How you gonna put that in there? And I was one of them. And then just show your car get smoked. I mean, he's like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
What was I thinking when the power line came down? Like, immediate, like, are we all okay? Second.
That boy Tanner saw that power line
the biggest
go down
issue
and said,
was that Marcus and
"Is it
Chris
Winx?"
were chasing in town, surrounded by trees and buildings blocking.
YouTube, welcome back. It's your boy, the one, Jay. Ouch! Come on, man. Hey, look. High Risk Chris. Appreciate the video. I told this man, I commented this to this man. When he made this video, I was like, I'm reacting to it. Anytime him or Tornado TRX makes a video, we reacting to it. When storm chasers are hit by tornadoes. Now, your boy done reacted to so many tornado videos. You know, I got a playlist of reactions for him if you want to watch them. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to your boy, first off. Don't just be taking my playlist and you're not gonna give your boy a subscribe. Nah, but yeah, I done react to so many tornado videos. I'm pretty sure a lot of them is gonna be in this. So hey man, High Risk Chris. As always, we give everybody credit who make the videos. We just react to them over here. But y'all, let's get into when storm chasers are hit by tornadoes. Your boy almost at 150 subscribers. I might be at 150 subscribers by the time this video posts. I don't know. We on the grind. Y'all know how we get down. We only like a month in the game. I love the progress. And I love every one of y'all tuning in, whether you subscribed or you're not. I appreciate every one of you. Let's get it. Those are the worst, bro. Them rain wrap tornadoes, bro. Just damn.
The day is May 31st,
Oh, this
2013,
El Reno, ain't it?
and
El
storm
Reno,
chasers
no!
from all over the country are moving towards one spot,
Oh!
El Reno, Oklahoma.
No!
The extreme storm chaser convergence is
We
due to
watched
the
this
moderate
video.
risk
We
with
watched
a
this
15%
video, bruh.
chance of tornadoes over central Oklahoma during late May, peak tornado season. However,
Fuck.
the chaser convergence is made even worse because only 11 days prior, an EF5 tornado
I'ma try not
tore
to
right
stop so
through the
much, y'all.
suburb of Moore,
And I'm going to
Oklahoma.
let Chris talk. Unless some crazy shit happen, I'm stopping.
With
I don't
the
give a fuck.
EF5 still fresh on everyone's mind, no one knows there's about to be another disaster. But this time, it would directly impact
Yeah,
the
Moore and El
storm-chasing
Reno was so
community.
close to each other. It was crazy,
At
bro.
4:37 in the afternoon, a line of storms initiate west of El Reno. With the anticipation for what is about to happen, Mike Bettis reports live for the Weather Channel.
Very quickly, these storms fired up, and that's going to happen with all of these. We can follow in behind it on the safe side of it, stay out of the rain, stay out of the hail, and have a view of a tornado and keep everyone alerted as to what the danger is.
Unknowingly, Mike foreshadows what's about to happen. As the complex of storms matures, the southern storm begins to dominate and a massive hook forms on radar. At 6:03, a tornado touches down southwest of El Reno, Oklahoma. Immediately after touching down, the tornado exhibits a strange behavior.
Bro,
Instead of a single
multiple
circulation,
vortices
the
and-
tornado consists of many smaller, short-lived vortices that are extremely unpredictable. One of the chasers nearby is Oklahoma local Richard Henderson,
almost
who's
looked like
out
it was-
on his first storm chase.
It almost looked like he was
captures the
dropping
small
them and
vortices
picking
of
them
the
back up,
tornado
dropping them,
as it
picking them
touches
back up.
down. Although he doesn't have much time since the tornado is heading right towards him, Richard flees to the east, narrowly escaping the tornado. A mile away are storm chasers Brett Wright and Brandon Sullivan. Unlike Richard, these two have years of storm chasing experience. After recording the start of the tornado, they realize they're directly in the tornado's path, so they begin their escape south, away from the tornado. They leave early enough to evade the extremely strong core. However, the tornado is much larger than it appears.
Yeah.
To the south of the core are powerful, invisible winds surrounding the tornado, blowing debris onto the road. Brett struggles in the debris-filled crosswinds before a hay bale is blown into them. Fortunately, Brett and Brandon survive the encounter. However, the tornado is marching
Reno
towards
probably one of the
dozens
most
of
strongest
other
tornadoes,
chasers,
bruh.
and it's only getting stronger. To the north of the tornado, a line of chasers frantically drive east, alongside the circulation. In the rear of the pack is Team Dominator, led by the legendary storm chaser Reed Timmer. His passenger records the monster tornado to their southeast.
I've heard about
From
Reed.
their position, you can clearly see the outline of the massive tornado, despite it being wrapped in rain. Also, the tornado has immensely grown in size, and so have the subvortices at the core.
That's what
No
I'm saying,
chaser,
like-
not even a tornado tank like the Dominator, is able to survive a hit from one of these powerful subvortices. In front of Team Dominator are the taillights of another notable storm-chasing team, Twist X. Inside the
So, we've already watched the video on El Reno. I ain't gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched this video. And, you know, I'm not gonna spoil nothing for y'all, but we already watched the El Reno tornado. We already know what happens to a lot of people. That tornado was crazy. It was rain wrapped. Damn near 2 miles probably. Like, it was unpredictable. It was going every which way. It was moving slow, then it would move fast. The wind strength was insane. Like, El Reno was crazy, man. El Reno was just crazy. What I was about to say though is I've heard of Reed Timmer. I know he has the Dominators, like a pretty much an armored tank almost, an armored truck, and it plants into the ground, and they can sit in the tornadoes. I've been hearing I should do reactions on those videos of them being inside tornadoes. I'm gonna look into it. If y'all got a link, y'all can just put it in the comments below. But yeah, we'll continue watching the video.
Twist X vehicle are 3 chasers.
These videos,
father
this
and
video
son,
gonna be sad
Tim
as hell.
and Paul Samaras, and longtime team member Carl Young. Twist X is positioned extremely close to the tornado, since they are chasing with the goal of deploying a probe inside of the tornado.
Fuck that
The line
probe,
of storm
man.
chasers continue east until Team Dominator is stopped by power lines blocking the road. Right around the same time, Team Twist X realizes they're in danger, so they turn north away from the tornado. Henderson continues east, tracking alongside the tornado, likely unaware of how much danger he was in. At the same time, Mike Bettis is live reporting back to the Weather Channel.
Guys, that's it. Right there. Look at that monster. This is a huge tornado.
He realizes they don't have a lot of time since the tornado is getting closer by the second.
This
can barely
thing is
see
moving
anything,
relatively
man.
slowly. We could be putting ourselves in a dangerous position here. We may actually quickly try to get in our cars and get south of this. I think we have to go now in order to stay ahead of this and not get run over by it.
Mike then makes the call to escape the tornado by going south on Highway 81. This is a huge mistake. As the Weather Channel crew frantically drives south, the tornado grows in size while also accelerating. The combination of growth and increased forward speed means that the tornado is effectively moving towards them at over 80 miles per hour. They have no chance of escape. Within minutes, the Weather Channel vehicle is at the core of the circulation.
Hold on, brothers. Hold on. Everybody duck, go. Just keep going if you can. Keep going if you can. Everybody duck down. Everybody duck down.
Their car is rolled 100 yards into the adjacent field. Somehow, everyone survives. But as the tornado barrels onwards, others would not be as fortunate. Immediately after striking the Weather Channel crew, the tornado turns north towards Richard Henderson, who's still driving east.
This is what I'm talking about. It was unpredictable. Like, it was
Richard is
directions.
caught in the violent core. His vehicle is thrown into the nearby field and is crumpled. Tragically, Richard does not survive. The tornado's impacting Richard. It reaches a peak width of 2.6 miles wide, making it the widest tornado in recorded history. Meanwhile, to the north, Team Twistex and another chaser, Dan Robinson, are frantically driving east on Reuter Road. They are now driving through the outer bands of the circulation. As the core of the tornado approaches Twistex, the winds momentarily subside, and Tim becomes aware of the dire situation. Moments later, their vehicle is directly impacted.
I don't want to watch this. I mean, it ain't showing, but I was saying
their vehicle is tossed a third of a mile to the east. Tim, Paul, and Carl do not survive. A mile to the east, Dan Robinson...
They said that there's footage from Dan Robinson's cam that shows them, or like you can see the lights in the tornado, like as they've been pulled up. I gotta look into it. I don't know. But man, that's just, dude, that's
abandons his car on the side of the road and takes cover in a ditch.
I'm sorry, what?
Takes cover. A mile to the east, Dan Robinson abandons his car on the side of the road and takes cover in a ditch.
There's a reason they say ditches are safer sometimes than underpasses, because of the wind strength gets heightened under underpasses. It's insane to think. There's no way he lives through this, right? This man abandoned his car and went in a ditch. As the cores... We talking about 300 mile per hour winds, right? Well, not 300, but maybe like high twos. It was definitely EF5.
Narrowly escapes the violent core of the tornado that killed Twistex. Bruised and scraped, Dan gets back in his vehicle and flees south away from the monster.
Oh, it's because the core didn't really hit him.
Soon after, the tornado terror would come to an end.
Car and got in a ditch.
In 40 minutes, this record-breaking tornado took 8 lives, 4 of which were storm chasers, with every death happening in a vehicle. This was the first time storm chasers had been killed by a tornado, and Team Twistex were some of the most experienced and well-respected chasers in the community. Storm chasers dying to tornadoes was always a possibility, but no one thought it would be them. Despite their decades worth of combined experience, they were not ready for the extremely erratic behavior, power, and size of the 2013 El Reno tornado. This traumatic event served as a lesson for the storm chasing community for years to come. But in 2019, another large group of storm chasers would take a direct hit from a strong tornado.
Speed.
Tornado! Stop! Stop!
before it's May 28th, 2019, and a
Damn,
moderate
that's
risk
recent.
with a 15% chance for tornadoes is taking shape over Kansas, storm
2019.
chasers' favorite state. Of the many chasers out that day,
Wow.
one group is the well-known storm chasing tour, Silver Lining Tours, led by veteran chaser Roger Hill. With over 35 years of experience
Silver
and more than
Lining
2
Tours.
decades running the tour, few, if any, can match Roger's experience around tornadoes.
Huh.
By 4 in the afternoon, a cluster of storms forms south of Topeka. The
We ain't
complex
watched
of
this.
storms evolves, and the southern storm develops into a fully mature supercell.
Oh, speaking of Topeka, I think I seen the tornado like video pop up for Topeka, but it was like an old Topeka tornado. Like it was like a F5 or something versus 100,000 people city or some shit. Like, and it was talking about Topeka. Like it was in 1900s. I don't remember, like 1990s or 1960s. It was an old tornado. I might have to look into that.
Roger,
Wow.
being as experienced as he is, has seen this pattern unfold countless times and positions the tour group in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Soon after, the storm produces a tornado east of Carbondale, Kansas. But there's one problem. This is a high precipitation supercell. A type of supercell that is so loaded with rain and hail, any tornado it produces is essentially invisible, unless a storm chaser is willing to get close. Silver
not.
Lining Tours is
I'm
well
not.
aware of the ongoing tornado,
tell y'all right
but
now, I'm
given
not.
their position, they can't see anything. Instead of distancing themselves by continuing east, they make the aggressive decision to go north and position in the storm's notch, the only way to see a tornado on a high precipitation supercell. This is an extremely risky maneuver. However, they are not alone, as many other storm chasers do the same exact thing. One of these chasers is Quincy Vigal, who captures the tour vans passing by. Eerily, the tornado is somewhere in this
How many
rain.
vans is it?
As the tour
I'm
drives
sorry, what?
north, is somewhere in this rain.
Why you panned over there? I
As
thought
the
I was
tour
over
drives
there.
north, they see
I'm looking
something
the other side, it's
concerning.
panning over
Another,
here.
even larger circulation is forming in front of them. Not wanting to risk driving into what is likely another tornado, they turn into a cemetery parking lot to stop and reassess.
Oh, that's real convenient. A cemetery parking lot. While hunting a tornado.
They decide to turn back south, away from the new circulation.
Interesting.
The 4 tour vans awkwardly turn around in the parking lot, which burns a significant amount of time.
Yeah,
Time that they
you're
did
in
not
fat ass
have.
vans.
Quincy captures Silver Lining Tours as they head back south. This is the last time they are seen.
I'm sorry, what?
The convoy of vans continue south through the heavy rain and are hit by a wave of intense winds. And then suddenly, Roger sees something out his window.
Oh no.
Debris falling from the sky. Debris right here. Tornado right here. Give me the tornado. Stop! Stop!
One van is rolled, while another van is lifted into the air, tumbling multiple times across the road into a field. Despite the horrific
fuck no.
damage to the vans and large number of chasers impacted, nobody dies. However, one tour guest suffers major injuries. After 2019, the storm
We good though. You said it was the last time they seen them. Man, Chris, you scared the hell out of me, dude. I thought they died. This would be the last time they would be seen. Before they got hit by the tornadoes, what you meant to say, buddy. Yo, I thought they was dead. Oh, thank God.
chasing
Yo.
community was on their best behavior. But in 2023, an early
And they
season
got camera
setup in the
footage?
southeast would start the year off on a low note. On March 24th, a moderate risk with a 15% chance for
2021?
tornadoes is materializing over the southern portion of the Mississippi River. Many chasers are out because of how potent the system is forecast to be. But by 5 p.m., storm still hadn't produced any tornadoes. Many chasers write this day off as a bust. Then, right at sunset, a strong current of air in the lower levels of the atmosphere, known as the low-level jet, ramps up over the area, dramatically increasing the tornadic producing ability of storms. And there just so happens to be a single dominant supercell in the area. Storm chasers see what's unfolding, and they all converge on this supercell. which begins
boy.
to rapidly rotate as it crosses the
Is this a
Mississippi
rolling
River.
fork tornado?
One chaser who goes by
think
the
I heard
name
about this
Chris
one too.
FL Tornado is streaming
I
on
thought the rolling
YouTube,
fork tornado was
documenting
an
his
old video
chase, and
too.
he's now moving
See,
into
bro, there's so
Rolling
many
Fork,
tornadoes,
Mississippi.
dude.
And at 7:57, a tornado touches down southwest of Rolling Fork, the town Chris is in. Right behind Chris on Highway 64 is storm chaser Max Olson, who captures the early stage of the tornado as it's directly to his west.
Oh, hell no! Nope. Hell no.
Multiple
Fuck
storm
no. And it's dark. Fuck
chasers
no.
in the area
I'm out.
report
No.
the tornado, and a
I wouldn't
tornado
even wanna be
emergency is
chasing no
issued
tornado
with
in the
Rolling Fork
daylight.
right at its center. While
At
Max
night,
is recording
tornado
the
is
tornado, Chris is
crazy.
in town, live streaming to an audience. He passes multiple businesses and homes on the east side of town. Little does he know, many of these buildings would be flattened minutes later. Chris takes a left into the residential part of town. He looks at radar, and he's right in the path of the circulation. Chris continues down the road and stops for nearly a minute at a stop sign, lingering for far too long. Chris then says he's listening for the tornado, and that he needs to be careful because things are about to get ugly, and he could not be more right. Meanwhile, Max is southwest of town, recording the tornado with an unobstructed view. By now, the tornado has grown into a massive beast, and it is rapidly closing in on town, where Chris continues to meander. Even though it's at night, frequent lightning strikes and power flashes light up the monster lurking in the darkness. However, Chris's view is obstructed by the homes and trees in town. Chris turns east, unknowingly entering the tornado's path.
Oh no, Chris! No! Damn, man!
Little does he know, the tornado was already doing damage less than a mile away. As Chris struggles to find a path back to the main road, he stopped at a dead-end street, losing him even more time.
Dead end? No, Chris!
He makes a couple more turns, and then a loud roar begins to drown out all other sounds. Chris nervously closes his windows to quiet the roar for his stream, and he seems to be aware of what is happening. Another chaser, Marcus Reynolds, is a couple blocks to the north and captures the tornado as it's illuminated by a power flash. By now, Marcus and Chris are both aware of the danger they're in, but time has run out. The wind picks up and debris flies across the road on Chris's stream before it cuts out. Moments later, tornado overtakes both chasers. Both chasers survive. However, had they been just as
This shit should have been named where most chasers get hit but are lucky. Like you should have titled this the luckiest storm chasers. Luckiest storm chasers. Because what the fuck? How many how many of these storm chasers done got hit directly?
single block to the
Bro,
south,
that El Reno,
they
that
likely
El
would
Reno
have
was
died,
different, I'm telling you.
since this area was found to have evidence of winds of at least 195
And y'all boys
miles per
lived.
hour, which are essentially
God is
unsurvivable for
good.
anyone in a vehicle.
All the time.
The Rolling Fork tornado was only the first big tornadic event of 2023, and already 2 chasers were hit by a strong tornado. And less than 2 weeks later, another tornado would impact multiple chasers.
Holy shit!
And I was one of them.
Chris!
Multiple chasers.
Holy shit!
And
What?
hours later, another 2 chasers were hit by a big tornadic event of 2023, and already 2 chasers were hit by a strong tornado. And less than 2 weeks later, another tornado would impact multiple chasers.
Holy shit!
And I was one of them.
Chris, what in the hell?
The story
Chris! You be out there in the field? Yo! How you gonna put that in there? And I was one of them. And then just show your car get smoked.
He actually starts a few days earlier when an extremely potent system was coming through the Mississippi River Valley on March 31st. As a storm chaser, I wanted to get involved in the action, so I road tripped east to chase the northern portion of the risk, where a 30% chance of tornadoes was outlined over Iowa and Illinois. On the morning of the chase, I faced a difficult
Chris, I didn't even
decision.
know you
Which
was
side of the
stormchasing.
Mississippi River
I just
should
thought you
I
made
chase?
tornado vids.
Iowa or Illinois? I chose Illinois, which was a huge mistake. While I chased garbage storms in Illinois, 60 miles to my west, Tanner Charles captured this incredible tornado in Iowa.
I reacted to Tanner Charles getting hit by a tornado. I reacted to that. Them boys' car got
Missing this
smoked.
incredible tornado left me with an unhealthy hunger to redeem myself, and
Chris,
I would get
it's
that
okay.
chance just a few days later. Another extremely similar setup was over almost exactly the same area.
Chris,
Not wanting to make the same
It's
mistake
okay, my
again,
boy.
I started
You
my
ain't
day
gotta
in
redeem
Burlington,
yourself.
Iowa, leaving both sides of the river in play. But soon after, a large, powerful complex of storms was initiating and moving into Illinois.
How do
For a
y'all
second
get-
time
how
in a
do you
row,
get these
I was
visuals
suckered into chasing the Illinois
of the
side of the
storms, like,
river.
on-
I made
How
my
do-
way
how
south
do you
to
make
get a
these
view of the
videos?
storms,
I'm
and
so
it was
jealous.
a massive supercell that's spitting out incredible bolts, a telltale sign the storm is intensifying.
Huge supercell.
Even though there isn't a tornado, I make sure to stay northeast of the storm, just in case a tornado does form, and because it was moving at nearly 45 miles per
Good
hour.
Lord.
Eventually, I'm overtaken by the core of the storm, the area filled with rain and hail, limiting visibility to nearly zero. However, as I travel east, the storm begins to show signs of rotation on radar, and just after 7 p.m., a tornado touches down a few miles southwest of Lewistown, Illinois. Around the same time, I break out of the storm's core and get a clear view of the storm's updraft. Right in front of me is the most incredible supercell I have ever seen. I pull over at an intersection, keeping in mind that I would need to travel east to stay with the storm. Right behind me is Tanner Charles, who's leading a vehicle with 3 other storm chasers.
Yeah, here we go. Is that it right there? Or wait, no, it's over here on the right. Yeah, it's right here on the right.
Everyone in the car is somewhat confused about whether or not this is an actual tornado or
Oh, wait,
just
this
a
is the
rotating
video that I've
supercell.
seen with
However,
Tanner Charles.
moments later, the tornado reveals itself as a tight circulation
Yeah.
underneath the storm's mesocyclone. And this is when I begin recording
got
on my
messed up.
second camera, the only
They live,
camera
though.
that would survive.
I'm spoiling this because I got a video for it.
Holy shit!
I don't care.
Tanner and crew pull up to the same intersection, positioning themselves to the east to allow for a quick escape. Also, you can see me in their video pulled over on the other side of the road.
What's up, bud?
As incredible as the tornado in Supercell is, there's one problem. It's moving directly at us.
It's coming right at us. Yeah, this is.
As the tornado gets closer, a local yells,
We're good. We got time.
and I resist their advice, thinking I had more time than I did. Tanner's group is more cautious, and they escape to the east. I hesitate for another minute since I'm frozen with a mixture of fear and awe. And to make matters worse, I couldn't find my phone.
Where the fuck is my phone?
Eventually I find my phone, pull a U-turn, and then make the single most pivotal decision of the chase, or really my entire life. Instead of going north away from the tornado, I turn east to race out in front with the
Chris,
intention of
did you
keeping up with
panic?
the tornado for as long as possible. As I frantically drive east along Epworth Springs Road, Tanner and his crew turn north onto Highway 100. They seem to have escaped in time. However, high voltage power lines fall, trapping their vehicle directly in the path of the tornado.
Oh my gosh! Oh! Holy! Lord Jesus, please protect us in the name of Jesus. Oh, fuck.
Back west, I
This
race
video
to
was
stay
crazy.
ahead of the tornado, frantically looking for a north option. I try to stop and turn north on Ridge Road, but as I hit the brakes, I begin to hydroplane, missing the turn.
Oh, hydroplane
The
sucks.
next option is Highway 100. As I'm stopped at the intersection, I grasp the danger of the situation I put myself in.
Oh my god!
The now massive tornado was half a mile to my southwest. I wasn't ready to give up, so I turned around in desperation to hopefully get on the
Oh,
backside
Chris, you were
of the
panic
tornado.
driving.
going back. We're going back.
Oh no, Chris.
I keep fighting. The grain silos next to me begin to shred apart, and a large piece of sheet metal jams into my wheel, stopping my car. In these brief, helpless moments, I decide to brace myself up against the steering wheel. My windows blow out, and pieces of debris whiz by my face at incredible speeds. My head is positioned right behind the vehicle's door pillar, shielding my head from the flying debris, likely saving my life. The grain bin is thrown into my vehicle and my car rolls. After rolling 3 times, the vehicle finally comes to a rest. The powerful core of the tornado then overtakes Tanner's group's vehicle.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that
Somehow,
video was crazy
the same
too.
grain bin that hit my vehicle rolls nearly half a mile directly over their vehicle.
That's what that was! Yo, okay, look, quick story time. When I watched that video with Tanner, I said that. I was like, what the fuck just like went past their vehicle? I'm thinking like, what was that? I had no clue what the hell that was. I didn't know if it was another car, if it was just debris. I didn't know what. That's insane. I knew it was something. I was like, that's crazy how that lined up.
Tornado finally passes.
Everybody's alive.
I climb out of my
God is
car,
good all the
completely
time.
disoriented and surrounded by mud. It didn't feel like real life. I couldn't comprehend what happened.
Won't
I
he
was
do
hit.
it?
I made a serious mistake. I am sorry. That's it.
For a second time in 2023, and less than 2 weeks after the Rolling Fork incident, 2 different chase vehicles were hit by the same tornado. Admittedly, my own decisions resulted in me getting hit, but instead of just saying all storm chasers to be hit by tornadoes are stupid, like what all the comments have been saying for years
I ain't
on both
gonna
YouTube.
say y'all stupid because I'm gonna say I wouldn't be in that position because I ain't chasing no tornadoes. But I ain't gonna say y'all stupid. This man said, "Buddy, you're storm chasing in a breeze." Okay, that's kind of funny though. That is kind of funny. It's okay to laugh at it because you're alive, but I say you're storm chasing in a breeze. Does a Prius have 4-wheel drive? I feel like that should be like a mandatory thing for a vehicle storm chasing. But anyways, nah, I ain't gonna say you're stupid. Because a lot of people will say, oh, I would have done this, or I would have left earlier. I mean, hey, stuff happens in the moment. People react certain ways. It sucks that you've made the wrong decisions, but I mean, in another scenario, maybe you would have made the right decision if the tornado decided to turn off or. Yes, I mean it's weather, man. I'm not playing with nothing like that. I can't do it.
YouTube and Reddit. I want to break down why it happened while also
Except
talking
Rick Tim was
directly with the
stupid.
people who lived through those moments.
Alright, so April 4th, just coming off of March 31st, just a couple of days beforehand, I felt a little bit more on edge than I normally would have. In my mind, I thought we were going to get on a storm and we were going to be...
Tanner looked like Scooby-Doo. I mean, he looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
What was I thinking when the power lines came down? Like, immediate, like, are we all okay? Second, can we get out? You know, look
No.
around, and it became apparent very fast that there was really no way around this. The fact was that we had live wires on both sides of the vehicle.
Yeah.
The best place for us in that moment was really just to be in the car, which was also terrifying in its own right.
Okay,
After having
like
more than
6'8".
2 years to reflect on what happened in Lewistown, the biggest factor in my situation was my mentality. When I missed the prolific Iowa storm a few days earlier, I put on myself an unhealthy pressure to perform, leading me to make more dangerous decisions than I would have normally. I knew
Yeah,
what I was
y'all
doing was
definitely stayed
dangerous,
way
but
too
given
long.
my desperation, I didn't want my shot of the tornado to end, causing me to
Hey.
continue east instead of stopping where I was. It's also worth mentioning
Live to shoot another tornado. That would be my... If I was a storm chaser, that's my motto. Live to shoot another tornado. I'm not overstaying my welcome for Mother Nature. I'm not doing it. Hey, I got a glimpse of her. All right, cool, we out. I'm sorry. I'm not... Nah. Nah.
that the Lewistown tornado was
I'm
much
terrified of
larger
anything
than
I don't
it
have
appeared.
control over anyway.
According to the National Weather Service survey,
Nah.
it may have been more than 1 mile wide, and visually it was not that large, making it difficult to judge in the moment. The tornado was also extremely rain-wrapped, dusty, and was moving at over 50 miles per hour, which is a recipe for disaster. But these are not excuses for my decisions. I should have taken this all into account at the time and backed off. For Tanner's situation, it's mostly just bad luck. The fact is, they were in front of the tornado and would have safely continued the chase had they not been blocked by the power lines.
But if the power lines didn't come down, we were still like a minute and a half ahead of the tornado. And this is the thing we always
Still dangerous.
It's like risk and reward. Is the risk worth it? Like anything could happen, right? So, but being more situationally aware and just having that thing in the back of my mind of what happened before, I think really helps bring a more sober-mindedness to when things get really intense.
The Rolling Fork tornado had similarities to Lewistown. It was hard to see since it was at night, while also moving at an extremely fast forward speed. But the biggest issue was that Marcus and Chris were chasing in town, surrounded by trees and buildings blocking their view. Getting close to a tornado at night is just not worth it, especially when you're in an area with tons of potential debris. Max Olson also chased the tornado and got incredible shots without putting himself or others in danger.
So when Rolling Fork initially touched down, we were south of town by a couple miles, and I had stopped well south of Rolling Fork because I didn't want to get north of the tornado's path in any way. When it's that late at night, even though we had decent visibility, storms moving that fast, things can happen quickly. So I wanted to make sure we were pretty far south. It was a relatively close intercept, but once we gauged the motion on it, we could tell that it was going to pass to our north.
Shout out to
if
Max.
it was going to go directly through Rolling Fork at that point, or if it would pass Rolling Fork, or maybe just clip it a little to the north. It was still pouring down rain.
Ain't no shot worth that, bro.
Windy,
Ain't no
and it
shot
was
worth
really
your life.
difficult to see outside.
There's not.
Until there was one flash of lightning that really illuminated the foreground. And I realized that the reason I couldn't tell how bad the damage was around me is because all the houses that used to exist around me were now clumps of rubble. And that's when, I just got the biggest pit in my stomach and was like, oh man, these people need a lot of help and really fast.
The tornado that impacted Silver Lining Tours was also extremely hard to see because it was buried in rain, fast moving, and the chasers were in a dangerous position. The storm's notch. My main criticism is that the storm chasing tours should not be chasing aggressively because a convoy of vans moves slowly. Max has been a tour guide for a few seasons now, and he can also verify that.
When I am guiding a tour, I'm chasing completely different than when I'm out on my own. When I'm on my own, I'll be somewhat aggressive, still smart and calculated, but aggressive when the situation presents itself. When I'm on a tour, I'm not even thinking about getting close. I'm just thinking about getting these guests out of the van in a safe spot where they can enjoy the storm, which usually means we have to stay further back.
The one tornado that really stands out is the El Reno incident, where 2 storm chasing vehicles and 4 different chasers died. This is still the only time storm chasers have been directly killed by a tornado. Likely because it's the strongest, largest, fastest, and most erratic of the tornadoes I covered in this video. However, the storm chasers are not totally blameless. I truly don't understand the decision-making process of the Weather Channel vehicle since they basically drove straight into the tornado. Even though Mike Bettis seemed to have good situational awareness at the time, they're extremely lucky nobody was killed in their vehicle. I recently visited the Twistex site, and the most eerie thing is just how close it is to other roads. All they had to do was turn north, and they likely would have survived. And while El Reno remains the only tornado to ever kill storm chasers, given the increased number of storm chasers around tornadoes, it's no longer a question of if more storm chasers will be hit or even killed. It's a question of when. During a storm chase last year, my friend Kelton lost sight of a large and dangerous tornado. Fortunately, he evaded the tornado to the east, but had there been chaser traffic slowing down his progress, he would have been killed.
Yo. If he's talking about Kelton Henderson, we did one of his videos too. But, yeah, man, I don't know, man. 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 some of these tornado like hits by storm chasers, some of them are bad decision making, but he's got a point. There's more and more storm chasers each year, feels like, and I done seen some people get hit by tornadoes because they're behind a convoy of storm chasers. Like, it's too many. Like, why is there so many on one place in the same spot, same road, and they ain't driving fast enough? Meanwhile, they in the back. Nah. That's too much. Everybody competing to get visuals. Nah, forget all that. I don't even know if I would trust to do one of them tours. I don't even know if I could do that, bruh. I don't want to be near no type of no. I don't want to be near none of that, bruh. I don't, y'all. But hey, look, if you like this video, for all my tornado fiends, if you like this video, give your boy a like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know where it is. It's in one of these corners. But yeah, give your boy a subscribe, man. Come on, man. Y'all know what we do. And I'm gonna have a playlist if y'all want to watch any more tornado reaction videos. It's your boy J-Osh, and I'm out. Hee!